The world's most important choke point, Strait of Hormuz, is neither fully open nor fully closed. It seems Iran is selectively allowing some countries to pass through it. In a recent decision, Iranian government has stated that Japan would be allowed to take its oil and gas through this particular Strait of Hormuz. And on one side, it seems that it might be economical in region. On the other hand, it seems that it is nothing but an Iranian strategy to create a crack or break in the American coalition or US alliance. As you know, Japan is a very strong ally or partner of United States of America. Recently, we have also seen meeting taking place between US President Donald Trump and the Japanese Prime Minister. So let us try to understand in entire detail what is the strategy behind such steps that has been taken by Iran. Now, the Strait of Hormuz, first, if you look at the map here, it refers to a very narrow strait, a water body that connects the Persian Gulf in the west to the Gulf of Oman in the east. Now, why it is very critical? Because almost 20 to 25% of world's crude oil and gas that is produced in the Middle Eastern region, Gulf region, passes through this particular strait, and then it is supplied to consumers all across the world, specifically to the Asia. And in the context of US-Israel-Iran war, we have seen this being used as Iran as a leverage to ensure that concessions are given by Israel in America. So it seems that now Iranian administration has clarified its stand. It has said that it never had closed or shut down Strait of Hormuz permanently. Rather, it is open for those countries which it considered as a neutral country. That means neither they are supporting US-Israel alliance nor they are supporting Iran also. And then the friendly countries which are completely backing Iran, example can be China, Pakistan. Similarly, India can be considered as a neutral country. So Iran clearly has stated that the Strait of Hormuz is only closed for enemies. Here, enemies clearly means that those countries which are backing United States of America, or in simple way, we can say the Western alliances that US and Israel gets backing from. So earlier, Iranian government also stated that they would permanently block this strait. They would put mines there so that no ship can pass. Now it seems that they're changing their approach and they have shifted to selective control. Few report also has come up where Iranian government has levied a tax of almost $2 million for allowing the oil tanker to pass through this particular strait. This has been reconfirmed and affirmed by the Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi as well, where it is clearly clarified in a press meeting that a strait is open but not for enemy. Safe passage Iran is offering, and this comes especially if you are able to pay Iranian administration in the yuan, that is the Chinese currency, or in the other forms as well. Coordination with Iran is required. Without coordination, it will be difficult for any ship to pass through this particular strait. And this is a strategy that India also has recently adopted. We have seen through the news headlines, Iran and India are continuously talking and discussing with each other, and several gas tanker India has been able to bring to its shore, passing through the Strait of Hormuz without any damage. Now, which country is allowed passage? As of now, the present situation clearly dictates the countries such as China, which is the strongest ally of Iran after Russia, India, Pakistan. These three countries, their tankers are continuously moving. Japan may be included. That's the indication coming from Iran. And then in the case of other countries, Iranian administration reserve the right to provide and give case by case approval. So what is the shipping reality? Now, we know that this strait, a very narrow strait, as we have discussed, very significant from the global energy security perspective. Since February 28, 2026, it is continuously being disrupted. Maritime traffic is continuously being disrupted. Several ships have been attacked actually by Iran, creating a fear among the shipping companies and also among the insurance companies. And overall, limited movement by a safe corridor we are seeing here. By a safe corridor, what we mean? If you look at again at this particular zoomed in image of the Strait of Hormuz, you can see here you have a small island. This small island is called as Larak Island. So rather than passing through anywhere else, the ships are largely using this Larak Island route. They first go to this particular island, pass near Larak Island, and special signals are being used by the ships to communicate and also move through. Now, Iran's strategy here is not to block the entire Gulf of Strait of Hormuz, because that would cause massive retaliation, and the biggest risk Iran would face is that it can lose even the trust and the vote of its ally, especially China, because it to a large extent depend on the Strait of Hormuz to supply its oil and gas demand. Similarly, India, which has played a neutral role, if the supply is disrupted, then India would also be forced to take some strong measures and actions. So that is something which Iran want to avoid, because it want to have some people, have some countries which are either neutral or are backing it. So selective blockade approach Iranian administration has taken, it is quite different from the radical approach that they had warned they would retaliate by completely blocking this particular region. Maintain leverage without facing backlash, and also control the Strait of Hormuz strategically as such. That seems to be the cornerstone of the Iran's strategy. Now the question comes that what is the reason that Iran is now allowing Japan also to use this route to take its ships? And the reason behind this seems to be is that it want to create a fracture or break in the American coalition. Japan, we know, is a major American ally, and at the same time it is also heavily dependent on Gulf oil. Some reports even have suggested that Japan is running short on its reserves, and this is reflected in the performance of Japanese market also, which has plunged by 6 to 7% in a single day. So it seems that now Iran is trying to create or send a signal of selective cooperation. It wants Japan to not strongly back America. It wants Japan to send a signal that Iran is open to let the Strait of Hormuz be used by it. So definitely it seems that an attempt to divide the American coalition. And in this particular war anyway, it seems that United States and Israel are fighting alone. Some sort of help and support they are receiving every now and then from the Western allies, especially the European allies. And the best example of this we can see from the fact that few days back, when Donald Trump asked NATO and the other countries to join its war, most of these countries have not given the firm support. So it overall, such approach by Iran would also weaken US-led unity, and it rewards neutral countries, punishes hostile ones, and creates a diplomatic pressure. Because if Japan is able to allow or bring its oil from the Strait of Hormuz, it would be able to create diplomatic pressure on America to ensure that war is wound out as soon as possible, to not send any more supply shocks across the world, and also ensure that the global economy remains on a progressive and upward path. Now, economic pressure tool is something that we can see Iran is also using. Energy dependence leverage, oil route disruptions definitely create fear. Even if the Strait of Hormuz is open, but even a possibility that ships can be attacked would send shiver down the spine of the shipping companies. So the number of ships earlier which they used to send, the number of oil tankers which they used to send, that would drastically reduce as such, and that would then apply further pressure on America through the allies toward renegotiation with Iran to bring war and attack to a halt. That means throughout this entire discussion, if we have to understand what is the final takeaway, Iranians are playing a geopolitical game, and this is understandable because their most of top leader has been eliminated by the American-Israeli strike. We talk about the supreme leader Ali Khamenei. He was killed in the initial stage of war itself. After that, several top leaders have been killed. Even the recent time, the advisor, or the most important advisor of Iran, he has been killed as well, Ari Larjiani. So after that, there is some sort of leadership vacuum, and that also is the reason why they want to create this disruptionist strategy, a controlled disruptionist strategy, so that they cannot get completely isolated and they lose all the support from the neutral or friendly countries. So this is nothing but an example of economic plus diplomatic warfare. Diplomatic warfare is by providing sort of carrot to the American allies. Economic warfare, because Iran knows it has a control over the Strait of Hormuz. It can anytime attack any ship that passes through it. It has proved its capabilities as well, and thus it seems as this entire decision of allowing Japan or including Japan in countries which can ship its oil through Strait of Hormuz, it is nothing but attempt to fracture the American coalition. That's all about this particular video. If you like the video, please hit like button, share with your friends, as a subscribe channel for more such content. Thank you very much.